Welcome to today's 5-minute Bible study in the book of Leviticus. We are looking at Leviticus chapter 16, the Day of Atonement. Now, yesterday we saw that this is the one day when the high priest, Aaron, can enter into the most holy place, into the very presence of God. And the instructions are given as to how he is to do that. Now we're going to see that on the Day of Atonement, Aaron, the high priest, is to make 3 sacrifices on behalf of himself and the people. We're in verse 3. Now this is how Aaron is to enter the most holy place. He must first bring a young bull for a sin offering and a ram for a burnt offering. He is to put on the sacred linen tunic with linen garments next to his body. He is to tie the linen sash around him and put on the linen turban. These are sacred garments, so he must bathe himself in water before he puts them on. From the Israelite community, he is to take 2 male goats for a sin offering and a ram for a burnt offering. Now Aaron is to offer the bull for his own sin offering to make atonement for himself and his household. Then he is to take the 2 goats and present them before the Lord at the entrance to the tent of meeting. He is to cast lots for the 2 goats, one lot for the Lord and the other for the scapegoat. Aaron shall bring the goat whose lot falls to the Lord and sacrifice it for a sin offering. But the goat chosen by Lot as the scapegoat shall be presented alive before the Lord to be used for making atonement by sending it into the wilderness as a scapegoat. Now see, there are 3 different offerings to be presented. First, Aaron is to bring a bull for a sin offering for himself and his household. He is to, remember, the sin offering is for purification, for the washing away of impurities or the decontamination from sin. So Aaron and his household must be purified or decontaminated from sin before the offering can be made. And so the bull is offered for himself and his household. Then there are 2 goats. One of the goats will be offered as a sin offering for the people. This will be for a purification of the people or a decontamination of the sins of the people. So there are 2 sin offerings given. The bull for Aaron and his household. The goat, one of the goats, for the sin offering for the people. Now the second goat is not given an offering, but will be the scapegoat. We'll talk about that later. This goat will not be sacrificed, but will be sent into the wilderness. We'll talk about that in another day or so. And then the third offering Aaron is to make is after the sin offerings are given, that is the bull for himself as a sin offering, the 1 goat for the people as a sin offering, then Aaron will offer a ram as a burnt offering for himself and for the people. And remember, as the sin offering is to purify or decontaminate from sin, the burnt offering is an offering of total dedication unto the Lord. It indicates that both Aaron and the priest are totally devoted to being the Lord's people and to being in fellowship with the Lord. So on this Day of Atonement, these 3 offerings are going to be made. 1 sin offering for Aaron and his household, 1 sin offering for all the people, and 1 burnt offering for Aaron and for all the people to be totally dedicated to the Lord. And then there's 1 other animal involved, that will be the scapegoat. Now, in addition to offering these sacrifices, Aaron is to burn incense. Notice it says when he brings the bull for the sin offering for himself, verse 12, he is to take a censer full of burning coals from the altar before the Lord and 2 handfuls of finely ground fragrant incense to take them behind the curtain. He is to put the incense on the fire before the Lord, and the smoke of the incense will conceal the atonement cover above the tablets of the covenant law so that he will not die. Now he's going to take some of the blood of this offering into the very presence of God in the most holy place. This is the only time he can do this, of course. We'll look at that tomorrow, how he does that. But before he can go in, he's going to burn incense on the altar of incense so that the tent of meeting may be filled with smoke, so that it will conceal the atonement cover or the mercy seat. It says so that he will not die. You remember all through the Old Testament, there's this prevalent theme that if you see the Lord, you may die. If you see the Lord, that may be your demise. And so Aaron must protect himself by God's instructions from too much of a gaze upon the Lord. And so the incense provides some covering so that Aaron does not look intently into the very presence of the Lord, for that might mean his death. So these animals are going to be sacrificed for a sin offering. The incense is going to go up, and then Aaron is going to be prepared to go into the most holy place, taking the blood of the sin offerings. It's going to be the blood of the bull and the blood of the goat. And he's going to do something very specific with that blood, but we'll look at that tomorrow. But what I want you to see so far is that Aaron is offering the sin offering for himself and for the people, and he's taking the blood of the sin offering into the very presence of God, that he might present it there. We'll talk about what that might mean tomorrow. Hope you join us next time for our 5-minute Bible study in the book of Leviticus.